Hey y'all, it's Des. I know it's kind of unbelievable. I haven't posted on here in a minute, but I have a very special guest with me today. It's Allison from ag.primrose.
Hi.
So we filmed a video on her channel, so I'm gonna link it below. That is basically just like our thoughts and opinions on Kira, her collection and her release, some of our opinions about her not being a doll of color. We also talk about our opinions on the travel collection as well. So if you want to check that out, link down below. So this one though on my channel is a Q&A. So we basically asked on our story if y'all could send us some questions, and I think we got some really interesting ones. So let's get started. Are you ready?
I'm very ready.
Okay, so let's start with like the first one, a very simple one. What is your favorite doll or dolls in your collection?
I like how you said it was a simple question, but this is like the hardest question to answer. I think like the most important doll to me would be my first, which is Felicity. She was like the old historical Felicity, not maybe Pleasant Company, but she was definitely like the historical Felicity. But now, just like a doll that I could not get rid of would either be Juliet or Dolce, I want to say, for my newest ones.
Dolce is definitely very iconic.
But the thing is, like, they look kind of similar, which I don't know. I just really like their features. How about you?
For me, I guess the same thing. I have a sort of nostalgia spot for my first doll, Molly. But in terms of like dolls that I use every day, that's really, really difficult. Then again, not really. I know a lot of people know that like my number 45, Kimmy, she is definitely really, really special to me. Other dolls in my collection, I really like my number 80 custom Gigi. I think she's really, really cute. I especially have been really enjoying photographing my recent doll. She's a custom from It's a Doll Affair, Truly Me 84, Yunya. I got Kira, but I don't know if she's had enough time yet to be a favorite. I think another doll who is my favorite but I don't touch is Marisol. Marisol is definitely my favorite girl of the year. So I have her, I don't touch her, but my other girl of the year who I do touch is Luciana. So she's really, really special to me. Yeah, I have like so many dolls. Like I will start listing them off, but that's
Yeah,
gonna take too long.
Like, yeah, of course, like, we love all of our dolls, especially the one, like, yeah.
We're both customizers. That's a really hard question.
It's like, yeah, once you put in the effort, it's just like, you're gonna love this doll forever.
Yeah. The next question is, what are your thoughts on representation and quality or the lack thereof?
Okay, I will start off. I mean, it's kind of just, there's not enough representation. I mean, we could totally go off about this. People kind of always see it as like an angry thing. It's just kind of disappointing. I feel like that there is such a lack of representation just because we both love AG like a lot. Yeah, I just wish there were more. Being Asian, there's literally no Asian dolls available currently, fully Asian, and in the past they've been like half Asians, they've been best friends, just like kind of like to the side. It's just like I wish there were more. Even in like Kira's collection we have Alexis, which is a to the side character that's technically not even available. Yeah. What about you for representation?
Okay, so y'all are obviously coming from my page, so y'all already know how I feel about representation, activism, and of course like racism and colorism. I will give props to AG. I think they really are getting better about it, and I know that's contradictory because Kira just got released, but I really liked their statement that they said they're really gonna create a line of dolls of color in the fall, so that one I'm really excited for. Same thing with representation though. If you think about it, at least for me, I'm Latina, I'm Central American. As a kid, I only had Josefina, who is Mexican, Marisol, who is the 2005 Girl of the Year, who's also Mexican American. By the time I got into AG, Marisol wasn't available anymore because I got into AG around 2008 and she was already retired. So if I wanted any other Latina character that wasn't Josefina, I'd have to go on eBay, and my parents were not about that. So it wasn't until I was an adult when Luciana came out. So for me, I definitely want to see way more representation. If there is representation, I'd like there to be a focus on like ethnicities and races that are not really prevalent or just super represented in the media. I'd love to see some more like dark skin representation. I'd love to see, of course, more Asian dolls. Definitely, I'd really like a hijabi character. I think it's about time, AG, to see some Muslim representation. As for the Latina aspect, of course, I'm always down to see more Latina characters. I think the most underrepresented races for Latinx representation are Afro-Latinos, Asian Latinos, and Indigenous Latinos. So I'd really like to see a character with that background or whose story revolves around that culture or identity. So yeah, AG, don't let us down, please.
It's funny because when you were talking about like half Latina characters, when I said that like my characters were like half Asian in the past, they were half Asian and half white. So it's just like, it's a different kind of, it's just like there are so many opportunities for new cultures and like new experiences to be shared with like younger girls rather than just like traveling and like baking, dancing. Like it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah, my last thought on this though is while I do like Kira, I really wish AG would start representing girls of color, or not even girls. I'm down to having like a boy doll or a non-binary character of color within the US, and it's not just, oh hey, we have a white girl that flies internationally. Her story takes place not in the US, so I'd like that. Next question. Ooh, I think this one you're really gonna like. What is your dream doll or your dream custom? Here's the thing though. Luckily, I've had years of dream customs, and last year now, because it's 2021, I've been able to achieve a lot of those. But right now I'm thinking of like some dolls I'd really like. I do want to expand diversity in my collection even more, so I'd like to have more dolls that are disabled. I think I should work on more my representation for disabled dolls and characters within my collection. I was thinking about, since I'm a customizer, I'd really like to have some dolls in my collection that have like, correct me if I'm saying it incorrectly, vitiligo?
I think that's how you say it.
I follow this model on TikTok and she has like a pink birthmark. I don't know the proper name for it, like on half of her face, and I'm thinking, wow, I should really start making customs with like dolls with more, not only variety of skin tones, but variety of like skin types. There we go. Variety of skin types. I also, is my goal to have a doll from, it's going to be really hard, but a doll from pretty much every or almost every like race, culture, and country.
I think that's a really good goal. I mean, I agree, because I also customize a lot. So all of the customs that I feel like I've created have always been dream customs. Right now, these are dream customs that I feel like are coming kind of soon, but just like dark skin Jess molds, I'm obsessed with them, and I've been wanting to make either Janae Aiko or Zendaya custom. Like those are just like my dream customs, but I have still yet to get it completely right with everything, but that is what I'm trying to do now. But there's always gonna be another custom that I want, and that's gonna be my dream custom until I make it, you know? Yeah, so
with that dream we're like, oh, here's a new one, because literally during that conversation I thought of so many other ones. I'm never gonna stop collecting if that's the case.
Right? And yeah, just like the endless opportunities, even like outside of like the create your own generator, which is amazing. Oh, I really want a dyed Marie Grace. Ooh. Just like, oh my gosh.
I'll help you with that. I love my dyed Mary Graces.
They're just so pretty. I literally have the Rit Dye More. I just haven't had time to do it because I feel like I need to get like another pot and like another like that's a dream custom that I also think I have to do kind of soon. But yeah,
I definitely recommend them. Next question, another simple one, but I feel like also a really good question. Who is your first doll? I answered it a little bit earlier, but my first doll was historical Molly McIntyre. I remember the Christmas, my mom's favorite doll is Samantha, and she was retiring that year. I think it was in 2009. So my mom's like, are you sure you don't want Samantha? She's retiring. I'm like, no. I like Molly. She dances. She's quirky. She has glasses. She has braids. I like her. So even though I don't touch her as much or anything, she's definitely sentimental to me because she was my first doll. So yeah, who is your first doll?
Mine, I actually got two at the same time for my first. It was Felicity and Kirsten. But the Kirsten was super messed up and I kind of got rid of her a while ago, so I kind of forget that I got her at the same time. But I love my Felicity. She's a historical. There's just so much I could go on about her. I got Elizabeth kind of shortly after the year that she was retiring. It's just like I love their collection. I watched their movies a bunch of times. It's honestly very sentimental.
Oh, that's cute. Yeah, I was luckily able to get some retired and rare Felicity and Elizabeth pieces last year, and wow.
Right?
They need to bring it back.
I
so
know.
pretty. Ooh, this one makes me feel a type of way, but in a good type of way. How many dolls do you own?
See, I had a number and then it because then there's like, I have a bunch of dolls that they're not a bunch, but I have a couple like duplicates that I'm saving for like custom parts, you know, so I never know if I should count those.
Same here.
But honestly, if I averaged it out, I just got rid of some. Mine would be pretty like straight 100 flat.
Yeah, okay. I think mine's pretty close. I think with now Kira, I think I have 96. But I am like working on some dolls for like custom, so I haven't done the math. But basically, we both have a lot of freaking dolls.
I never ever thought that I would have this many, and I think it's different when you're a customizer because you're kind of always looking for like good deals, and then you just like you see dolls in a different way and you're just like, this is so unique. I love like the combination. I don't know,
especially that like I wanted to collect. I think technically now I have all the historical dolls. I still have a few for the Girl of the Year dolls. For me, I'm definitely a customizer, but in the word collector. So I'm picky about what I want, but if I do want it, I want everything of it. Luckily, I've been able to organize it, but yeah.
And I think it's a lot, like when I was younger, I would never buy dolls like secondhand usually. So like now that we're kind of older and we have our own money to spend, it's kind of like spending it more wisely, and it just happens that you like find dolls for good deals. I don't know.
Definitely. It's like, ooh, I wouldn't have been able to get this at my parents. I'm getting it now. This is a steal.
Honestly.
Ooh, this one's nice, but also very hard to decide. Love you both very much. Aw, thank you. Oh no. Who would you choose if you could only have one doll?
Impossible question. It's kind of like the favorites, right? I feel like mine would be the same as the favorites.
Yeah, had to pick one. Okay, I think of the scenario of like if like my house was burning down and I could only rescue like one or two. If I could access her, definitely Molly and maybe my number 45 Kimmy. But I'd be so upset, especially at my custom dolls that I worked so hard on.
I would be heartbroken. I don't even know if I'd start collecting again after that, if that happens.
Even for like the dolls I haven't customized, I took so long to pick out the right one to make sure it had the perfect face and the face paint. So let's hope that doesn't happen.
Right?
Okay, let's see the next question. Ooh, this one's fun. I like this one. Whose dolls do you like from each other's collection? Okay, I got mine because, oh my gosh, Allison's dolls are gorgeous. Oh my god, I can't compete with that.
This is not true.
I think my favorite doll, like, of all time of yours is, correct me if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly, Lokalani?
Yeah.
Okay,
We'll
Kalani.
put Kalani.
She's like, is she like a medium dark dress mold?
She's a create your own. I think she was she's not the darkest dark skin, but she's a dark skin dress mold.
Yeah, so she's like a dark skin dress mold. She has really pretty hazel eyes and just like really pretty wavy brown hair. And she's cute. I'm super impartial to like dark skin dress mold customs. I think I have 2 to 3. I'll think about that later. But I'm actually impartial. I also really like your Juliet. I think she's also another CYO. She's stunning. Yeah, so I think she's like, I can't tell with like the skin tones. Is she like a
regular dark skin?
Dark skin? Yeah, so regular dark skin. Like, is it like gray or blue eyes?
Gray eyes. I love gray eyes.
Yeah, gray eyes is super pretty. And like a long brown, like wavy hair. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, she's stunning. I think lastly, I think this is like not a CYO, but your own custom. I really like your Nanea custom Madison. She has like Caroline eyes, and I think, oh my gosh, she's super, super pretty.
I love her. Yeah, I actually want to get her like a brand new wig because it's I like the caramel hair with her, but yeah. And for Dez's, I had to totally stalk her profile. This is such a hard thing because I love all of them, I swear. I had to note like your more recent one, was it Yunya?
Yeah, Yunya from Isabella Fair. Yeah.
So pretty. Just like, she could definitely be a dream doll too. She is so pretty. And then Priya, I really liked Priya just because it's just a dyed Marie Grace with like dark hair. Stunning, I think. And then I liked your Sailor Moon. Is she dark skin or medium?
She's medium. So like, she's like medium skin, and then she didn't have like the bad eyes, but I felt like the new eyes for the CYOs for dress molds, they still look down a little bit. They're just not as bug eyes, so I gave her Mary Grace.
Was she a Creator?
Yeah, she was my first Creator on.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought you like put her together.
She's a Creator on, so yeah.
She's so pretty. Like, oh my gosh.
The funny thing about Priya though is that she was an accident.
Really?
Yeah, so what
went wrong?
So this was my first ever dye attempt. I was supposed to make a custom doll for myself resembling one of my favorite singers, Kali Uchis, but I realized a little too late. I left her in too long, so she was a lot darker than the singer herself.
Oh.
Luckily,
she doesn't look that dark though. She looks like regular, like a dark skinned doll. Was she supposed to be like medium?
Yeah, so Kali is like I guess you could say like a 66 skin tone. She's like a light medium. So I saw what is now Priya, and I was like, oh, whoops. Luckily though, I didn't freak out too much about it because I had an extra Mary Grace that was also supposed to be a custom, and I just used her and I got the right skin tone that time, but I accidentally fell in love with Priya in the process. I gave her hand-painted eyes, and I basically gave her all the parts that Kali was supposed to have. So now I gotta fix my own Kali because I feel like Priya got the preference for being an accident, but she was a very happy accident. But yeah.
Very happy accident.
This next question is really interesting. Which dolls took the longest or the hardest to customize?
Okay, all of my customizations are essentially the same, but I think one of my earlier ones probably, because I put a lot of effort in like the beginning, because I would fix their limbs. I would put them out for like cream sun treatments to like get rid of stains. Like I would when I would actually fix up them, and then I usually always do eye swaps, always do wig swaps. I only recently do face ups, but they're always like super natural and they don't take a lot of time. But I feel like all of my customs go through the same process. It's at least they're always eye swapped and wig swapped. How about you?
For me, I'm just thinking of customs I have for myself, but also customs that I have sold or made as commissions. I think the hardest one overall though was probably my CYO custom Lilac. She's an albino black doll, but I wanted to specifically recustomize her to look more authentic to what I researched on what were albino features. The other two I would say that were definitely really difficult but very rewarding would be Stormy. She's a custom Marisol I did, but basically she has face paint flowers to kind of look like flower tattoo press on. So her, and then custom that I felt like was really important in my customization process to what I use today was a commission of Prada. She was a Mary Grace. She was the first time I ever did like a cut crease ever. I hadn't seen anyone do that in AGIG before, and that's what the owner wanted. So I was like, okay, I don't know how to do this. I know how to do it on myself. So let me figure out how to do it. And definitely when you do freckles all over like the face, is definitely very time consuming. And she also had a septum, but I think those ones were my hardest but like greatest accomplishments. But this one's kind of deep. Has there ever been a time where you grew out of dolls or stopped touching them for a while?
I definitely have to say yes. There was I can kind of remember it distinctly. I think it was Sage's year. Sage was the last one I got for a couple years, and I really did kind of completely forget about them. And then I don't know what restarted it, but it was like the introduction of like actual customized dolls, not like just create your own, but like customized dolls, like people customizing their dolls is what made me really interested in it, and then it just took off from there.
I think I had a very short period. It wasn't even a full year. It was the year of that McKenna was released, 2012. I was just thinking, say I would have been 14 at the time, so I was just like, you know what, nah, I'm grown now, I don't need dolls. And plus I wasn't super vibing with McKenna. I was just like, oh wow, how obvious, how ironic that is to today. But I wasn't really vibing with her. The only reason why I got back into them is because, surprisingly, the following doll, Sage, I'm an artist. I really like to paint ever since I was like 3. So when I found out that like Sage was an artist and she had like a really cool aesthetic, and then I found out that they were gonna make an American Girl store closer to me in the Bay Area, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, I need to go. And I did. I got there at 6 a.m. and I didn't get into the store until 5 p.m. on the first day.
Yeah, no, definitely. I went to American Girl play San Francisco, and that's when I went for like my cousin, and then I saw Sage and I was just like, I thought I was kind of getting over it dolls, and then I was just like, I like her. But then like a couple of years passed, and I think I got back into it when Isabel's year.
Yeah.
I think. I didn't like Isabel though, but like that's when I got back into it.
So we're almost done. This one's interesting. If you could pick one celebrity to make as a custom, who would it be?
I literally just realized that I base my dolls off of real celebrities.
Me too.
Kind of often. I'm in the middle of a Lily Collins one that I've been wanting for so long. And I already mentioned Jhené Aiko and Zendaya, so I guess those.
This is hard because I am in the process. I do have some celebrity doll customs, but I'm also in the process of making more for myself. I'm currently working on another Ariana Grande doll. This time she's of commission, but I also am working on an Ariana Grande doll for myself. I'm also working on a Timothée Chalamet doll for myself. I really like a lot of his acting, but I recently just gotten like some of my dream celebrity customs. One is based off of Emma, the 2020 film of Anya Taylor-Joy, but I know in the future I want to fix my Kali Uchis custom. I want to officially, I've been working on my Halsey custom for years, and I never get around to finishing her. I would love to make dolls of the entire Euphoria cast. Like, in character and off character, I think they're stunning. I don't know. I like making celebrity dolls. I think it's really interesting to like study their faces and think, now how can I make them in doll form? So I think that one's for now, but yeah. This one I really like. What is your dream photo shoot location? Dang, I might have to think about this one. Ooh, you know what? I take it back. I have many different options. I would love to I want to basically take amazing photos traveling. So if I go to somewhere tropical, I want to take really cool tropical pictures and take the dolls with me that kind of fit that aesthetic. I'd love to visit the wilderness and do a campy type of not campy as in the other definition, but wilderness explorer. I really I want to explore photography outside of portraits and more landscapes and actual sets wilderness. But overall, I'd have to say, I really, really, really want to take doll photos in Japan, specifically the Disneyland Tokyo Resort. My ultimate dream.
Yeah, I don't really do photo shoots with my dolls that often. If anything, they'll just like me in my backyard or me going down the street and it's like a naturey background. But I do a lot of like people shooting. So there are so many places I want to go. Just like European streets, I love them. Just like flagstone, flowers everywhere, like that's the vibe. I don't know if you guys have seen like that, like pictures of like Athens, Greece, and like the sea and like the white buildings. I don't know, but these are just places that I want to travel to, honestly.
Yeah,
just pretty places.
Yeah, just let's travel to pretty places, and if we take cool doll photos there, that's a plus. So the last question that I feel like is super relevant to both of us: where did you first learn to customize? I think, okay, I've always kind of customized my dolls since I was a kid. I used washable marker to do their makeup, so that was just more like on instinct. But when later on I thought about so I posted a lot of my dolls. It wasn't even with great makeup, but I have this lady who on ag who consistently asked me if I would do like face ups or if I will sell like custom dolls with makeup, and I was thinking, I could maybe do that. I didn't do it well in the beginning, but I think now I sort of have a knack for it. So I started researching on other doll communities who do have a lot of customization videos and more of a customization community, like Monster High dolls, Blythe dolls, pull-up dolls. Just look up like doll customization and OOAK on YouTube, and I literally did all my research on there. And then as for wig swapping and eye swapping, there's like so many videos on that since the dawn of AgTube time. So it was a lot of like asking my friends who already did that, a lot of trial and error, and to this day I'm still learning, but pretty much that. What about you?
Well, I definitely think you're the one to ask about customizing in like terms of like face ups, because all I have really done is like eye swaps and wig swaps, and those were always like super intuitive. Like there's only kind of like one way to do it. Whenever I do like partial face ups, it's like pastels and paint. Like I just use regular paint just because all of my face ups are not super realistic. They're just like tiny, like me just like adding eyelashes or something. Like that's all I really do.
Subtle stuff.
Yeah, very subtle. So I don't know, you guys can watch all of my customization videos if you want to know what I do.
Yeah, they're amazing.
They're definitely not as in-depth as Dez's work, definitely.
So yeah, I think those are all the questions. Thank you all so much for coming. Please comment if the comments are there. Subscribe, and definitely check out Allison's channel, ag.primrose. She's way more active on YouTube than I am. I'm hoping to be as active as her, but she has such amazing videos, and her doll collection is gold. So you should also check out the video that we do on her channel in the link up below. So thanks you all so much for coming, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.